Hey, what's up guys? I'm Kenzo Lee and welcome to my vlog. Today, let's talk about acting. Today, James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, made a post about acting. And it went like this, and I'm gonna actually read it because otherwise I'm gonna get it all messed up. I don't have a James Gunn impersonation, so I'm just gonna read this. He said, and I quote, "I am consistently being asked for just one chance to act in a movie by people with no experience, but no one would ask for just one chance as a dentist, engineer, or lawyer. Acting takes skill, and most people spend years working on their craft." First and foremost, he's absolutely right. Even the actor who has the smallest part in some TV show has been working years for their craft. You can't simply just walk onto a stage and bam, you're a freaking great actor. It's about making something that's extremely hard look easy. So he goes on to talk about how competitive acting is, about how few jobs in acting there are, and he talks about how when someone with no experience asks for a role, they're actually stealing it from somebody who has years and years of training behind them. He points out Jenna Fischer's book about how she became an overnight success after 10 years of training, and then brings up his own training as well, which is literally over 7 years before selling his first screenplay. He then brings up about how people get those really big roles with almost no experience, and those do happen every once in a while, but it's really rare. And then he describes experience. He talks about acting classes, about scene study. A lot of these actors who are overnight successes have thousands of hours of experience behind them. He talks about how acting is a skill set. And then one woman brings up how basically you can't get a job unless someone gives you a chance. But the truth is you have to hone your craft before you're ready for a job. Acting is like a melting pot. Basically, you're going to take a bunch of different classes. You're going to learn from a bunch of different people. It depends on what kind of acting you're doing, and you're going to find what works best for you. And there are hundreds of amazing teachers in Los Angeles. Leslie Kahn, Aaron Spicer, Ivana Chubbuck, Howard Fine, Brian Reese, Second City, The Groundlings, I.O. West. The list goes on and on and on. The trick to being a great actor is to find what works for you, and that, on its own, takes years. The average actor books about 2% of the jobs they audition for. There's a sign in a casting office just down the street from where I live, and it says pretty much something like this. Congratulations. Out of the thousands of submissions, you are one of the 75 that's been chosen to be here. 75 people auditioning for a role? Of that, maybe 10 to 15 will get a call back. Maybe 3 to 4 will be pinned or put on a veil, which basically means that you're the final choices. And of that, only one person is going to get the role. Acting is probably the most competitive job out there. Imagine you're applying for an everyday job fresh out of college, and it's, let's say, for an office job. Pay is okay to start off with. It's in a field that has some upward growth and momentum. You're going to apply to probably 10 or 15 jobs, maybe 20. And you might get one out of them. 1 out of 20 jobs. 5%. That's pretty good. Now imagine, as an actor, applying for hundreds of jobs. Hundreds of jobs. The rejection ratio is enormous. And if you live in a big market, like Los Angeles or New York, or now Atlanta and Chicago, the competition is staggering. Everyone from their small towns comes to these big meccas to try and audition for these big TV shows. You are competing against the best of the best. You have to go to classes. You have to be doing theater. You have to learn how to do improv or how to do classical text. You have to learn how to be whatever they want you to be, and you have to be really good at it too. There are so many technical things that you need to learn that are different between film and theater. Like voice projection. Turning your body to the camera just right. Performing to the back row. Focusing just off camera without blinking. Versus slating for an audition when you speak your name with absolutely no intonation whatsoever. Acting can be so specific based upon what genre you're performing in. The rule of 3, the callback, pausing for audience laughter, learning to cry on cue, not having enormous movements while you're talking on camera. So I say bravo to you, James Gunn, for laying it out for all those people who may not know or understand what actors go through. It takes a very specific kind of person to choose a career in acting. People ask us why we do it. It's crazy. The chances of success are so low. The chances of failure are so high. Well, there's an easy answer. Why do we do it? It's because we love it, and we can't imagine doing anything else.